Hello friends, let's start numericals based on buffer solutions. Okay, yesterday we have seen two formulas to prepare or to derive the pH or to calculate the pH of buffer solution. Now the pH is equal to what formula we have seen? pH is equal to pKa plus log to the base 10 of ratio of concentration of salt to the concentration of acid. Okay, this formula yesterday we have seen. Same, we have seen the formula for POH. POH, that is the numericals based on basic buffer solution. POH is equal to pKb plus log to the base 10 the ratio of concentration of salt to the concentration of acid. Okay, now first see the numericals based on acidic buffer solutions. Okay, so first upon see the numericals, what numerical we have given. Okay, now see calculate the pH of buffer solution. Now here it is not mentioned whether it is acidic or basic, containing 0.05 mole NaF sodium fluoride per liter. Okay, now here what we have given, 0.05 mole of sodium fluoride per liter. That means indirectly sodium fluoride per number of moles of sodium fluoride per liter, nothing but the concentration of that particular solution. Okay, and 0.015 mole of hydrogen fluoride per liter. Okay, again here also they had given the concentration of hydrogen fluoride which is 0.015 molar. Okay, and what next we have given? We have given Ka, that is dissociation constant of acid. Okay, now the dissociation constant of acid is 7.2 into 10 to power minus 4 for HF. Okay, now first one upon C, the sodium fluoride and hydrogen fluoride. Hydrogen fluoride is weak acid. Hydrogen fluoride is weak acid, while NaF is a salt of hydrogen fluoride. Okay, that is this is a solution of acid, or we can say the solution of sodium fluoride and hydrogen fluoride is acidic buffer solution. Okay, therefore we have to use formula here to calculate the pH of buffer solution for the pH, as the solution contain acid. Okay, now next let's see what we have given. Okay, first upon write down what we have given. First one upon HF is an acid, NaF is a salt, and we have given the concentration of HF is hydrogen fluoride is 0.15 mole per liter, while that of sodium fluoride is 0.05 mole per liter. Okay, and Ka we have given 7.2 into 10 to power minus 4. Okay, so after that write down the Henderson-Hasselbalch equation for acidic buffer solution. And what is the equation? pH is equal to pKa plus log to the base 10 concentration of salt divided by concentration of acid. Okay, now instead of directly putting the value in all these equation, we can solve step by step. Okay, because first upon we have to find out the value of pKa. Okay, and we have seen the equation for pKa is equal to negative log to the base 10 of Ka, that is dissociation constant. Okay, so write down first negative log, substitute the value of Ka in the equation, 7.2 into 10 to power minus 4. Okay, now whenever we are going to take log, we have to take log of this also and log of this also. Okay, so first one, log of 10 to power minus 4, it is minus 4. Okay, so minus into minus 4 plus what we have to take now. Here we have given the multiple sign, 7.2 into 10 to power minus 4, therefore we have to take a summation of log term. Okay, so therefore plus negative log to the base 10 of 7.2. Okay, so therefore write down. Now here minus 4, minus into minus 4 becomes plus 4. So 4 minus log to the base 10 of 7.2. Okay, so here for the 7.2 write down 0 point and see the log of 72 into 0, 0. You will get the value 8573. Okay, so write down there 4 minus 0.8573 and the pKa will be 3.1427. Okay, now we can put the value of this pKa into the equation. pH is equal to pKa plus log to the base 10 of concentration of salt to the concentration of acid. Okay, so write down the values and put the value of concentrations of salt and acid also. Okay, now see pKa is equal to 3.1427 plus log of concentration of salt, which is 0.05 divided by 0.015. Okay, you can multiply here also by 100 so as to you will get 5 by 15, or you can multiply by 1000, you will get 50 by 15. Okay, so the ratio of this 0.05 by 0.015 or 50 divided by 15 is equal to 3.33, and you can put the value in the equation. Okay, now see 3.1427 plus log to the base 10 of 3.33. Okay, again here characteristic 0 and write down 3.1427 plus 0.5224. Okay, we'll get the answer 3.6651, and we can make a round figure of two digits, 3.67. Therefore pH is nearly equal to 3.67 and the exact value is 3.6651. Okay, now in the same way we have to calculate the pOH or pH for the basic buffer solution. From this equation you can also prepare the value of pOH as you have prepared the value of pH. Okay, now you have prepared the value of pH is 3.67. You can minus 14 minus 3.67, you will get the value of pOH. Okay, let's go to next numerical. See, now first upon see the numerical. Calculate the pH of buffer solution composed of 0.1 molar weak base. Which base we have given? BOH, and 0.2 molar salt BA. Okay, and the value of Ka is 1.8 into 10 to power minus 5. Okay, for the weak base. So first upon write down here BOH is acid, BA is a salt. As we have given base, therefore it is a basic buffer solution. Okay, so and what concentrations we have given for the weak base and salt? The concentration of weak base, that is concentration of BOH, is equal to 0.1 molar, and the concentration of BA is equal to 0.2 molar, and Kb, that is base dissociation constant, is equal to 1.8 into 10 to power minus 5. We have to calculate pH, therefore pH, and therefore we have written question mark in front of pH. Okay, now same we have to use the Henderson-Hasselbalch equation for or to calculate. First upon we are going to calculate the pOH, and after using the equation or relation between the pH and pOH, we can calculate the pH of solution. Okay, so therefore first upon write down Henderson-Hasselbalch equation, which is pOH. Now we are going to use for the basic buffer solution. Therefore pOH is equal to pKb plus log to the base 10 concentration of salt divided by concentration of base. Okay, therefore pKb, in the same way we are going to first calculate the value of pKb by using the value of Kb, and therefore we have written here first upon pKb is equal to negative log to the base 10 of Kb, and therefore negative log to the base 10 and substituted value of Kb is 1.8 into 10 to power minus 5. Okay, so first one upon same minus 5 plus minus log to the base 10 of 1.8. Okay, so again 5 minus log of 1.8, which is 0.2553. The pKb will be 4.7447. Okay, now we can substitute the value of pKb in the equation of pOH is equal to pKb plus log to the base 10 of concentration of salt to the concentration of base. Okay, now see pOH is equal to, after substitution of value of pKb 4.7447 plus log to the base 10 of 0.2 divided by 0.1. Okay, now in the same way you can multiply this by 10, you will into 10. Okay, so you will get 2 by 1, or simply you can write there log of 2. Okay, so 4.7447 plus log 2, and the value of log 2, it is 0.3010. Therefore the value will become 5.0457. Okay, now here we got the value of pOH. Okay, now here we got the value of pOH. Okay, and by using the value of pOH, we can prepare the value of pH by substituting the value of pOH in the equation. pH plus pOH is equal to 14. Okay, so rearrange the equation for the pH. pH is equal to 14 minus pOH. Okay, now by substituting the value of pOH, pH is equal to 14 minus 5.0457 is equal to 8.9543. Now this is the pH of basic buffer solution. Okay, now we are going to continue to the next point, which is related to solubility and solubility product. Okay, now see first upon what is meant by solubility of a compound. Okay, that means whenever we are dissolving any salt in any solvent, then it undergoes dissolution. Okay, so it is a property, solubility, it is a chemical property referring to the ability of given substance to dissolve in solvent. Okay, how we can define the solubility of a compound? Solubility is a chemical property. It is a chemical property referring to the ability of a given substance to dissolve in solvent. It is called as solubility. Okay, now see, next concept is what is a saturated solution. Okay, now once again imagine if we have added any solid into a liquid, okay, then it starts dissolve. Okay, some compounds are dissolved completely, some compounds are dissolved partially. Okay, and those compounds are dissolved partially in the solution, that means the compounds which having a less solubility, which contains the solid substance as it is at the bottom of the solution, and therefore such a solvents are called as saturated solutions. Okay, or such a solutions are called as saturated solutions. Okay, then how we can define properly the saturated solution? Okay, we can define the maximum amount of solute dissolved in solvent at an equilibrium. The resulting solution is called as saturated solution. Okay, what we can write, the maximum amount of solute dissolved in solvent at equilibrium. The resulting solution is called as saturated solution. Okay, simply you can imagine when you are preparing a solution of sugar and water. Okay, now suppose that you have taken 10 ml of water in a beaker or any vessel, okay, or any bowl, and you are adding a sugar in that. Okay, so first upon the solution will dissolve completely, but as you are continuing the addition of sugar, after certain time the solution stops dissolution and it will be remains as it is in the solution. Okay, that means the whatever may be maximum amount of solute dissolved in the solvent, and therefore the solvent does not have ability to dissolve the more amount of solid substances or compounds in it. Okay, that means the equilibrium between the dissolved compound and you are trying to be dissolved, it is maintained, and therefore the saturated solution is defined as the maximum amount of solute dissolved in a solvent at an equilibrium. Resulting solution is called as saturated solution. Okay, now after this we are going to see what is meant by sparingly soluble salt. Okay, now generally those salts whose having a solubility less than 0.01 molar and they require the less amount to make a saturated aqueous solution of salt, and excess of the salt remain undissolved in water and settled down at the bottom. Such solutions or such a salts are called as sparingly soluble salts. Okay, the salts, for example, or we can also call it as those are the weak electrolytes or the electrolytes which having a ability to dissolve in solution which is in less amount, or the extent of dissolution of weak electrolyte is less, and such a solutions form a saturated solution which needs a less amount of salt to dissolve in water, and the remaining amount of salt is settled at the bottom. Okay, for example, silver chloride, barium sulfate. Okay, now see, the process of dissolution and precipitation of sparingly soluble ionic compound is important in everyday life as well as industry and in medicine. Okay, for example, we can see simple example of kidney stone which is developed due to the precipitation of insoluble calcium oxalate, and the process of tooth decay occurs due to dissolution of enamel composed of hydroxyapatite, okay, in acidic medium. Now you have seen chlorapatite and fluorapatite. Okay, in the same way it is a hydroxyapatite. Okay, now the formula for the apatite is that Ca5PO4 thrice. Okay, now as it contains the OH group or hydroxide group, therefore it is called as hydroxyapatite. If it contains the fluorine, then it is called as fluorapatite, and when it contains the chlorine, then it is called as a chlorapatite. Okay, now see, we are going to see next point, which is solubility equilibria. Okay, now just recently what we have seen, some sparingly soluble salts, for example silver chloride, is kept in water and stirred vigorously. A very small amount of solution chloride dissolved in water to form its saturated solution, and most of the salt remains dissolved. Okay, that is the solid AgCl is in contact with its saturated solution AgCl is a strong electrolyte, and hence the quantity of AgCl dissolved in water and dissociates completely into its constituent ions. That is, the equilibrium is developed between silver chloride, which is weak electrolyte, and Ag plus and Cl minus ions. Okay, so how can we define the solubility equilibrium? Okay, the dynamic equilibrium exists between undissolved solid, salt, and dissolved ions in the saturated solution. This equilibrium is called as solubility equilibrium. Okay, now as we have considered the example of silver chloride, so we can write down the definition for the solubility equilibrium for the silver chloride is that a dynamic equilibrium exists between dissolved solid silver chloride and the dissolved ions Ag plus and Cl minus in the saturated solution, and this equilibrium is called as solubility equilibrium. Okay, and what we have written here, the equation for the equilibrium between silver chloride and their ions. Okay, now we have seen the equilibrium constant. How to write the equilibrium constant? Same concept we have to write here. Equilibrium constant, which is denoted by K, is equal to concentration of Ag plus ion into concentration of Cl minus ion divided by concentration of salt. Okay, so we have written here equilibrium constant is equal to concentration of silver ion into concentration of chloride ion divided by concentration of salt, okay, which is silver chloride. Okay, now the concentration of undissolved solid is constant, that is, the concentration of AgCl is constant, which is denoted by K dash. So we can again write equation K is equal to concentration of Ag plus into concentration of Cl minus divided by K dash. Okay, so by rearranging the equation, K into K dash is equal to concentration of Ag plus into concentration of Cl minus, and we can write single constant which is called as a solubility product for the equation, and the solubility product is denoted by KSP. K constant, S solubility, P product. So constant of solubility product, or we can simply say solubility product. Okay, so we can write the equation KSP is equal to concentration of Ag plus into concentration of Cl minus. Okay, so we can consider it as the product of concentration of ions in a saturated solution is called as solubility product. How can we define the solubility product? The product of concentration of ions in saturated solution is called as solubility product, and solubility product is denoted by Ksp. Okay, now see, we can apply the same concept for the number of salts. Okay, so every one salt is not having a same valency or doesn't carry the same charge. So first upon we have to write the equation for the general salt, and we can write here Bx. Now we have considered here the salt which is Ba, in which B carries a positive charge and A carries a negative charge. So if we consider here the formula for the salt which is Bxay, okay, so Bxay, it forms x number of By plus y number of A x minus ions in aqueous solution. Okay, now we can write the solubility product for the salt Bxay like Ksp is equal to concentration of By plus, and we have to write this coefficient of By plus to the power of concentration term. Therefore concentration of By plus raised to x into concentration of A x minus raised to y. Okay, now to more clarify this concept, for the general equation we are going to see different sparingly salts for which we have to write down the Ksp or solubility product. Okay, first example is barium sulfate. Okay, now here sulfate carries 2 minus charge, or we can say it as a SO4 2 minus. Okay, and the Ba carries a plus 2 charge, or the oxidation state of barium which is plus 2. So we can the equilibrium for the saturated solution is BaSO4 in solid gives Ba2 plus SO4 2 minus in aqueous solution. Okay, now write down the equation for Ksp. Ksp solubility product is equal to concentration of barium 2 plus into concentration of SO4 2 minus. Okay, consider the next example, calcium fluoride. Now calcium fluoride which is in equilibrium with calcium 2 plus and 2F minus. Okay, see here value of Y which is 2. Okay, and here 2F, 1F carries 1 minus charge, therefore 2F having a 2 minus charge. Okay, 1 minus of one fluoride and second minus for second fluoride. Okay, so we have written here 2 in front of F. Okay, therefore, and calcium having a plus 2 oxidation state or Ca2 plus ion. So we can write down here the solubility product for the calcium fluoride is Ksp is equal to concentration of calcium 2 plus into concentration of F minus, and here we have to write the power of concentration of F minus is 2. Okay, in the same way we can write the equation for Bi2S3. Okay, now here sulfide, it is sulfide, therefore the sulfur carries minus 2 charge. Sulfur is in minus 2 oxidation state. Okay, how much sulfurs we have? We have 3 sulfurs, therefore 3S2 minus. Okay, now bismuth, we have 2 bismuth and therefore it carries a plus 3 charge. You can use here crisscross rule to calculate the valencies of the salt, valencies of the ions, and therefore equation is Bi2S3 solid gives 2 Bi3 plus 3 S2 minus in aqueous solutions, and therefore we can write the Ksp is equal to concentration of bismuth 3 plus of power 2 into concentration of S2 minus sulfide with power 3. Okay. In the same way, try to write down the equation for the calcium phosphate, and formula it is Ca3PO4. Twice you will get the equation Ksp is equal to calcium 2 plus to the power 3 into concentration of phosphate, that is PO4 3 minus to the power 2. Okay. Next time we will see the relationship between solubility and solubility product. Thank you.